You're listening to BBC Introducing Featured Artists, BBC Radio Solent.
And this week, it is all about SOCKiTTOME, who joins me now. Hello!
Hello, Steph. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, it is so good to have you on the show, and I am so excited about your new release, which we're going to dive into in just a minute. But let's take things back to start with. I read that your music journey started in primary school, is that right?
Yeah, it started with a guitar teacher called Mr. Noyce, which is a pretty cool name. I started playing guitar and I just got obsessed with music, really. I was a massive fan of R.E.M. and the Monkees, and yeah, I got the bug. And
you picked up the guitar. Were there other instruments that you were sort of drawn towards as well, or was it mainly the guitar?
Mainly the guitar, but I think there was always an instrument in the house, whether it was a piano or, I don't know, I've got a glockenspiel by my feet right now, actually. But so I tried to dabble in anything really, but I'd say I can play guitar if someone asked.
And you do a lot of recording from home, don't you? Is that right?
Yeah, originally I was recording in an attic in Wales for a very long time. Now I've moved back to Hampshire and I record in a spare room in the house, which is a bit pokey, but it does the job.
What's it like making music in Hampshire? I know you've obviously been in Wales as well, but what's it like coming back to your hometown?
It's a bit weird. It's this like full circle moment, I guess, for me, because I've been away for so long. But I think the same with most things, like because you can kind of record anywhere these days. I kind of feel like I could be anywhere. I imagine I'm in an LA studio or something, you know.
I love that. I've got to ask, where did the name SOCKiTTOME come from?
You know, I think it was probably like 2020. I was listening to loads of music like Aretha Franklin's Respect, like this, like lots of 60s music. They seem to say "Sock It To Me." There's a Monkey song called "Going Down," and a band called Fujira and Miyagi. Don't know if you've heard of them, but they all say "Sock It To Me." And I was like, one day I wrote it down all as one word, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go with it. So I just followed my gut on that.
It's a really good name. It stands out, that is for sure. We're going to hear the new single very soon, and I want to chat more about performing on Made in Chelsea and also hear more about your new album as well. But first, I'm going to play your release that you uploaded in May and we played and we absolutely loved as well. This is SOCKiTTOME and You Are My Fire. SOCKiTTOME and You Are My Fire on BBC Introducing Solent, and he is our featured artist of the week this week and joins me on the line. I love that song, SOCKiTTOME, so good.
Thank you.
And I can imagine that being played on Made in Chelsea. Tell us about the Made in Chelsea experience.
Well, you know, it's weird. I don't remember loads about it, but it was quite a while ago. It was the first season of Made in Chelsea, and we were really lucky to get on that and get featured on the soundtrack. And I remember being on the album with the 1975, which was very cool, and M83, because that's the theme tune. My main memory was, it was the first time me and my band had ever had a rider for a gig. We didn't know what to do, and I think all we asked for was some peanut M&Ms. And we asked for regular M&Ms, and then when we got there, it turned out they were peanut M&Ms, and we couldn't stand them. And even if we did like them, Jamie Lang ate them before we got to them. And I know, so yeah, he owes me a whole pack of peanut M&Ms when I see him next.
See, I would go for the peanut ones over the normal ones, to be honest.
No, that is diabolical.
I've read you've worked with lots of people as well so far in your career. Tell us a bit about some of the people you've worked with so far.
Yeah, I've been super fortunate, really. I got to work with Jolien Thomas, who's worked with people like U2 and Kendrick Lamar. Who's actually the son of Ken Thomas, who produced Sigur Rós, I think that's how you say it, the Icelandic band. King Ed, I knew him as Ed Carlisle, but he's done a lot with Baby Queen recently. She's doing really well. But the coolest one, not to rank them or anything, but I got to work with Pete Robertson from The Vaccines and go to his house, and he was just very cool. He's a very cool guy, and he knows how to produce a song. So he's definitely a source of inspiration.
I feel like he's got local links as well. I feel like I've heard of him being around this area, so that is good to hear.
Yeah. No, he's fairly local, and he's doing amazing things. He's working with some very big names as well, which is cool. I can name drop him.
And you've been supported by BBC Introducing since 2022. What's that journey been like so far?
It's been amazing. I think initially it was always a surprise. You never know if the BBC are going to pick it up. So thankful, obviously, for yourself. You've picked up all the singles on this album, and I think that the world kind of recognizes the BBC as this sort of validating thing for an artist. So yeah, I'm just massively thankful, and it's definitely helped with, as I said, people recognizing me as an artist. So
that's so good to hear.
Yes.
I like the name of the album is a play on words, isn't it? Safety in Jumpers. Tell us a bit about that. How did that come about?
I think it was probably around the same time I was coming up with the name for like my artist, Elias, and I thought it was during lockdown. I liked this idea that, because I'm quite introverted naturally, I guess, instead of safety in numbers, I was like safety in jumpers, because I like being in a jumper. And then it kind of just unraveled into this massive passion project, and I learned to sew, and I made this giant jumper, and all the artworks for the singles are these embroidered patches that are, at the time, a local company in Wales got made for me, and they're all on the jumper, on the artwork. And yeah, I don't know, this idea that I feel safe in a jumper rather than in numbers, I guess.
Yeah, that's so clever. I absolutely love it. And we've got to dive in. Well, it's a play on words, that, because the new single, am I calling it Swim or am I calling it SWIM, or a bit of both?
I call it Swim. I think it rolls off the tongue a bit better. I mean, it's just a phrase I stumbled across years ago online. It means someone who isn't me. I think it's an acronym. Yeah, all the songs on the album, like, really personal. And then one day I was just like, I want to write a song and completely disassociate with myself and do something, I don't know, just right from the perspective of like a bit of a arrogant rock star kind of persona. Cast it aside, thinking it's a bit silly, or maybe it's a bit much. But my mum loved it, and then that took that discussion to the management and to eventually my label, and became the main single for the album, which my mum would be very happy to know.
I love that. It's got the stamp of approval from mum, and she has got good taste, because it is bold, it is in your face, it makes you listen. We cannot wait to hear it. We're going to hear it very, very shortly. But first, can you just tell us what's next this year in terms of like album and also gigs and stuff? Is there anything you can reveal? So
there's a lot in the pipeline. Always working on new music, and live shows are on the agenda. But really at the moment, it's just going to be a big focus of promoting my little booty off, trying to get this album out to the world so everyone can hear it, and trying to pump out as much content. I guess that's kind of the modern day, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there going to be jumpers featuring in your content a lot?
There will be. Yeah. I've been holding off. I've been filming this stuff for a couple of years now, so I've got a lot of a backlog of me sewing and stuff, which I am going to make very interesting.
Yay! Oh, it's so good to chat to you, and we absolutely love this. So we've made it you featured artist of the week. Can you do the honours of introducing it, please?
I can. Thank you so much. Hi, I'm SOCKiTTOME, and this is my single Swim on